Hello friends, this is Rohit Sawant from Civil Engineering Department, Praveen Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology, Behind the Rest. So today I am going to explain the non-destructive testing of the concrete. So what is basically non-destructive testing? This is the testing carried out over the concrete structure in order to assess the strength and the durability of the concrete structure. So with starting with the learning outcomes, so student going to learn or understand the need and the entity of the concrete. Then second, to define the objective of the entity. So what are the different objective of the entity, what are the needs of the entity test, and what are the different types of the entities and the limitation of the entity test. In this types I am going to explain the rebound hammer test only, and all the other methods will be discussed in the next lectures. Okay, so what are the needs of the entity test? So basically we know that many tests are carried out over the concrete structure in order to know the compressive test, tensile strength, but commonly the compression testing or the tensile testing has been carried out over the compression testing machine or the UTM machine, but these having some limitations because in their test we know that 3 blocks has been carried out to determine the test, and those blocks are destruct completely in order to know the result of the test. So in NDT basically no any kind of destruction has been taken place in this. This is the very simplest method in which the test result can be get easily, and it is very cheaper method. So that's why these tests are carried out commonly to know the result. So what are the needs? First of all, these methods are useful to estimate the compressive strength, uniformity, quality, and the homogeneity of an structure. These are useful to identify the lower integrity, or which is lower integrity, which is also known as the lower cracks or the fissures, or the we can say that the disintegration occurs in the concrete can be easily determined by using this method. So that's why it is useful. Then next, at present the testing cubes commonly represent the strength of the concrete, and main parameter of determining the quality of the concrete mix design, compaction, and the curing which has been carried out over the structure. So this is very useful to know the mix design which is carried out for the concrete structure. Then compaction and the curing take place for the or the carried out for the concrete structure. Then this method is useful for the detection of the presence of imperfections, for monitoring the changes occurred in the concrete structure. Then condition of reinforcement steel with respect to the corrosion. Then the chloride sulfate which usually occurred over the steel structure, or the which is called as a carbonation effect, or the sulfate attack, or the chloride attack over the steel structure. So these methods are commonly used to know all these kind of changes occurred in the concrete structure. The result obtained from the cubes may not be truly represent the quality of the concrete in the structure, and common methods like compression testing, tensile testing are carried out after the construction, or we can say that the cubes are constructed and then tests are carried out, but NDT can be carried out before and after construction of the structure. So that's why it is useful. So these are the common needs of the NDT test. Then next, that is objective of NDT. As we earlier discussed that this method is very useful to determine the cracks or the micro cracks or the fissure or the deflection present over the concrete structure. That's why it is very useful. So first, to establish the homogeneity of the concrete under a test. Second, the comparison of the concrete quality with respect to standard values. So we can compare the result with respect to the standard value. That's why it is very useful method. Second, detection of the faults such as the cracks or the voids present in the concrete structure. Then to monitor the changes take place, as many times the sulfate attack or the carbonation effect take place over the steel structure, which which makes the changes in the steel structure. That's why we can easily understand or monitor the changes take place over the concrete as well as on a steel structure. And then next objective to assess the structure for its rehabilitation, and last to know the alternative method. This is the alternative method when cube test gives a doubtful result. So this is a very useful method. So these are the objective of NDT. Next, the common types of NDT test carried out are: first, that is rebound hammer test, which is very easy and carried out or used all over the world. Second, ultrasonic pulse velocity test. Third, half cell potential test. Then cover meter test, and last one, carbonation depth measurement. So from which I am going to explain the rebound hammer test. It is a very useful method and very common method to determine the result. So I am going to explain this method only. First, it is a surface hardness tester for which an empirical correlation has been established between the strength and the rebound number, and the only known instrument to make the use of rebound principle for the concrete testing is the Schmidt hammer, which is also called as a rebound hammer, is also called as a Schmidt hammer test, which weighs about 4 lb, which is around 1.8 kg. It consists of a spring control hammer. In this drawing we can see the plunger is present and spring is present inside. Okay, so these two parameters gives the exact result while testing. Okay, it consists of spring control hammer mass that slides on the plunger within the tubular housing. This is we can see that the tubular housing, the hammer is forced against the surface of the concrete by spring, and the distance of the rebound is measured on the same. In another picture we can see the one man is hammering the rebound hammer over the structure in order to get the result. On that hammer we can see the small scale is present over, which gives the exact distance between the plunger and the surface, which gives the result of hammering. The test surface can be horizontal, vertical, at any angle, but the instrument must be calibrated in this position only. The calibrate can be done with the cylinder of 6 by 12 inch or by 15 by 30 centimeter of the same cement and aggregate as will be used on the job. The cylinder are cap and firm held in the compression machines. So this is the general method of testing. In this method we can see some of the results has been has been taken, which gives the rebound value and the deviation. In this testing we have to take the least 10 reading for the calculation of mean value, so that will give the exact result. The best accuracy achievable is within -20 to +20 or the 25. Okay, so it gives the result up to an -2 to 22 +20%, which is better than the common test. So what are the limitations or the advantages of this method? So first, this Schmidt hammer provides an inexpensive, simple and quick method of obtaining an indication of concrete strength. The results are affected by some factors such as the smoothness of the surface, size and shape of specimen, moisture condition of the concrete, type of cement and the coarse aggregate, and the extent of carbonation of the surface. So there is certain limitations in this method, as it can be affected by some exterior or the heterogenic materials. The result depend on too many parameters, as I explained. If there is changes in shape and size or the moisture condition or the type of cement or the aggregate used, so these are the some parameter which affects over the result. So these are the limitation of the NDT, but as compared to the other method, it is cheaper, gives the fast result, and that's why it can be useful in general sites, which gives the exact result. And